Hello YouTube, I Fix It All here, Team I Fix It All. Looks to me like I've got a couple of saws here that I need to sharpen, hand saws, 3 of them to be exact. This is the one I reach for most often. I don't know what brand it is. I just know that it's been my go-to saw for a long time. However, this saw needs a good sharpening. This is the front of the saw, by the way. And that white stuff is phosphoric acid. Let's check out these gnarly teeth. Some of them are in pretty bad shape. And I've been dinking around with different sharpening techniques. This is an example of a saw that's been through a lot of use. Here's a brand called Corsair. Corsair. I don't know if it's valuable or popular or what. I just know that I have one. It just needs a handle. But of course I can transfer a handle from another saw to this one anytime. This is an example of what I would consider to be saw teeth that are in decent shape. So as we scroll through that, there we go. And then here's a rather antiquated Craftsman. It's probably not antique, but that's the handle style. It's plastic. Plastic's been around for quite a while, so it could be an antique. I think it was my dad's. And there's the condition on the teeth there. See, we've got one common denominator here. All the teeth on this saw, these saws are all about the same spacing, about the same, let me see, let me do a comparison. Teeth per inch. Yep, this is identical with that. Let's check that out. Lay this one up here. I'm lining these ends up. This one's a little different. This one has got the phosphoric acid on. What I'm going to do right now is use a tool called a set. This sets the tooth. Let's see if I can do a quick little etch and sketch here. On your saw, open that one-handed. Here's the handle. And there's the front. Okay, so that represents your saw. But the teeth right here here's what I'm going to target for a shape on these. I want to have a tooth come down. Oh, let me, there we go. Zoom in a little bit, Scott. Tooth come down. And then angle, up, angle, up. What I'm trying to do is I want to have this line here straight up and down. And I want this area right here to be the sharpened edge. And I'm going to achieve that with a triangle file. And for Christmas, I got a few triangle files. So I know I'm getting off topic because I just brought out the tooth set. In my opinion, I could set the tooth and sharpen it, or sharpen it and then set the tooth. But the last thing I want to do is sharpen. Because setting the teeth is one task, and I don't want to tamper with the teeth once the teeth are set. So if I get the crappiest saw out right here, put it in my vise, I'll show you this. Put that right there. The way, if you're looking down the saw blade, the teeth are offset like this. They're like that. You got one tooth. Let me zoom away a little bit. There we go. So your teeth are like this. So we got one tooth that leans that way, and a tooth that leans that way, then the next one leans that way, and the next one leans that way. Reason why that is because when you're sawing through wood, this surface here doesn't bind up. You're cutting a gap that is thicker than the thickness of this metal overall. Because the offset of the teeth, you're going to cut a gap that's wider than the sheet metal. So we need to have that offset to eliminate any binding that happens. And the way that we do this is with a sawtooth set. Let's analyze this for a minute. There is a pointy guy in there that rides on a die. Let me get something to point with. This die right here is shaped like this. I'll draw it out for you. Okay. And that pointy guy is shaped like this. And yeah, so the whole blade gets in a bind and forces the tooth over. So what this means is you have to go down the length of your saw blade every other tooth using this tool. You'll end up being able to set the teeth. Well, the way that happens is like so. You get on a tooth. I'm pushing metal that way, so I'm on a tooth that's pointed that way. I'm going to get you guys in on the action here. see if we can get you in here so you can see. Let's see, I'm going to have to do this left-handed. So I'm getting on that tooth. Right there. There we go. I'm going to squeeze. And it bends that tooth that way. You wouldn't believe the ridiculous posture I have to be in to actually give you this shot. I wonder if I turn out this light, if it'll help. Nah, that doesn't help. Alright, so we just go down the line. I'm going to go for this tooth. It bends it over. Skip another tooth. Bends it over. Skip another tooth. Get on this guy. This goes a lot quicker without a YouTube video. That bends it over. You jump down here to give you a better angle. This one I know needs bent over. So that pointy guy comes out. You can see how it meets up with the die. So that sets the tooth. So this is a video that deals with more about the basics of a handsaw. You've got to have your teeth offset, and the only way you can really do that accurately and evenly is with one of these tools. You got to have this. If you don't have this, you'll end up with a saw that's you can't. I don't know of a way you can just tap them with a punch and offset them. But I'm going to go down the full length of this saw, and I'm going to get all the teeth set, and then we'll get on to sharpening. Now the sharpening part is you got to discover, do you have a file that will fit the profile of this sawtooth. I got some Christmas gifts here. and where did it go? That one or this one. These two triangle files are probably my best candidates for the JOB. But I'm going to be reshaping all these teeth to match the etch and sketch right here. That one. Because this saw is war slam out. So this saw is going to need a lot of work. So I can't really use this saw to help me determine which file is going to do the job. So I got to reach for a better looking saw, one that's in better shape. And the Corsair blade seems to be the best candidate. And what I'll do is I've got two triangle files in my hands, And I do believe this one might be the better choice. What's interesting is triangle files, you would think they're all three sides are the same width. But I've noticed one side of the triangle file is wider than the other. I've marked this side because I just discovered this with a caliper laying over there. That tool right there with the little gauge on it. That silver tool right there. I discovered this side is wider than that side. Or that side. So what that means is I have, let me see, I have two different angles. I'm going to figure out which profile fits this Corsair the best. Back to the etch and sketch again, because I want to get down to the details as usual. I'm going to draw a big sawtooth. Alright, so keep it in unison with this. So let's go so the triangle file, what I want to do is, remember when I said I want the leading edge of the tooth to be straight up and down and the back side of it to be angled? I need to find the right file that will accommodate that profile. And let me do something else here, because this is really important for a handsaw's longevity. Alright, so we're going to attempt to show you here what I'm talking about. I'm going to lay the file in the groove. Let's see if that's the right one. Yep. But I'm not laying the file in there like that. I'm actually making sure one side, on the left-hand side, that side is straight up and down. I'm rotating it. See how the top is angled downhill slightly? And that side is, I'm trying to make it straight up and down. Let me double check my measurements here. And it might be easier to see with this other saw. Okay, so if that's flat, what I'm trying to do is create this side here. Gosh, this is so difficult to explain. I want to keep, you see how that's straight up and down? This edge right here, that represents this right here or this right here. I'm rotating my file slightly so that concept is included. And see that flat side there is slightly down, tilted down. The back side here, this side, is perpendicular to the table, that plane. Let's say I want to attempt this one more time. I'm going to roll it. And that will give me the profile I need in that tooth to sharpen the leading edge. And I'll do that on every tooth. And I'll just whack through a couple of them to show you what it looks like and how much time this is going to take. The setting of the teeth has already been done. Well, this saw needs its teeth set, but I don't want to go through teeth setting. The one that I've set the teeth on is the worst saw. It has the teeth in the worst shape. I'm just going to go through and, of course, I'm a magnifying glass brat here. I've got to get myself situated. And I'll make myself some room. And I'm going to lay into the tooth and rotate. I'm going to stop when I see the top edge of the tooth become more pointy. I just did that tooth. Let me do another one. I forgot to say turn your volume down if you don't want to hear this crazy noise. A few of these first teeth are kind of messed up because I was experimenting with different files to see which one was going to work best, and I decided to work inside of an area I knew may not get a lot of sawing action anyway. So what I'm doing here is somewhat correcting some of the teeth. Again, the teeth are already set on this saw. I reset all of them. Not looking too shabby there. Yeah, this saw is wore out. It needed some TLC. Some of these teeth are actually missing. I get to skip that one because it's not even present. I know my hand is probably in the way. That's terrible, but I'll try to stay out of the way on the next couple of teeth. Nah, not possible. If I angle it. Yeah, there we go. See, I'm the flat side of my triangle's up. I drop in, and then I rotate a little bit so that I have this flat edge is, I'm no longer my flat edge here is not facing up, it's angled. That way I have a 90-degree side profile to the tooth. That's 90 degrees to this line down here. 90 degrees to this line down here. That's very sharp. Try a different file. Nope, don't want that one. I had another triangle file out here. There we go. This is the wide side. Good. This one's almost too wide. I like that smaller triangle file. Skinny, skinny, wide. So I'll put the skinnies in the crevasse. That's a bad tooth here. I'm not paying any attention to the depth I'm going in at. I probably should, but I'm not. I also lost track of where I was. I think I was right here. Am I even in frame? Yep. Oh, that sucker's getting sharp. Not too bad. Where'd I leave off? Right there. Okay. Essentially, I'm getting, and I have an opportunity here to reshape these teeth. Whoa, that's sharp as shit. God damn. I have the opportunity to reshape these teeth to get them looking like the etch and sketch and get them looking more like the Corsair and the Craftsman. Obviously, this tool has seen its day. God, another etch and sketch. Because just FYI, saw teeth don't look like this. Although most people would think they do. Saw teeth are more like that for a proper saw, if that is the front. And that's your handle back here. This way, this edge here is cutting your wood, and it has metal behind it at a greater distance here to support the force you're putting on it right here. It can take the load. And then what you have to do over time is come in with a file that will clean those back up. This pattern here is kind of pointless because you would just kind of roll them bumpity, bumpity, bumpity off of your work surface and not get a lot done. You would be making baby powder saw cuts. This will actually saw off and take decent hunks of wood away. Do a couple more files here. This doesn't take all that long. To set all the teeth is about 10 minutes. The filing work, I've already made it to here, and it hasn't been that long. It's just all about your style. Really worn out tooth there. That's a nice looking, getting a nice shape. Nice shape. I think one thing I've learned here is I need a rag. It's getting sharp. This tooth is almost gone, but I can bring it back by going a little deeper. Deeper meaning just stay on it for a while and it'll reappear. There it is. Beautiful. And notice what I'm doing. I'm pushing down on this to keep the blade from bouncing around. I don't have any formal education on what I'm doing. I've never been shown how to do this. I've always imagined in my mind, what would I do if I had to sharpen my own handsaw, if suddenly everything went to shit and we don't have power tools anymore. A man will have to really make sure that his tools are cared for. And I imagine the men in our country years ago did this sort of thing routinely, and it's lost knowledge. And these are the most important things a craftsman needs to be able to build and contribute and provide a service to the country and make money, and you know, you have a home and everything's all downhill from there. Exceed my expectations beyond belief. good, totally good. What do I do here? Let's keep going on that one. That looks better. Looks like I might have missed one here. Or something. I'm not sure what's going on. Don't know what happened here. There's a burr. Alright, so that's a hell of a sharp. And I'm going to mark where I left off. Because I'm not going to continue this tonight. Somewhere in there. I'll pick back up on it and finish her off. But, okay, so here's the twofers that are not tended to. And then we're going to come up on the teeth that are tended to. What's all those fuzzies? Sorry about the bouncing camera. Oh, yeah. This too, it's got a shadow effect going on because it's been set. All the teeth have been set. They're much sharper looking. Now, this is one of those things where looks can be deceiving because it might look a little better. Which to me, the teeth are in better shape. We can all agree to that. The ones that I did up to the yellow mark. How about giving us a better background? There we go. Yeah. See, the teeth look like they're in better shape than the ones afterwards. Alright, so one thing I think I need to do, and I'll look it up and see, but what if I run into a scenario like this where I've achieved this tooth pattern, but I'll draw these out, and what if I need a straight line. I'm running out of, let me do a, there we go. That'll be good enough. I needed a reference. Okay, so let's say we got a tooth like this. And then we got a tooth that's like this. We got a tooth like this. We got a tooth that's like this. We got a tooth that's like that. And one that's like that. Well, they're not even. And I know for a fact, I'm not running a calibrated machine shop right here. I know for a fact that if I were to dial this saw in to the gnat's ass and put a straight edge across the top edge of all them teeth right there, that I have a height profile difference. And the only way I know I can remedy that's important, because what that means is all of the teeth are not in the game at once like they're supposed to be. all these teeth should be at the same height profile. And the only way I know I can fix that is, where's it at? Did my boys grab it? I'll find it. It's got to be here somewhere. I'm up on the workbench and see what I can see. Get up there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Got it. I'm thinking what I have to do after I file these is I've got to take my whetstone and whetstone the top edge of all these teeth down till they're all at the same level, or use a real fine file. And that's not going to hurt anything because it'll re-level the teeth out, and what it'll leave me with is more Etch and Sketch. What it's going to leave me with is this. Give me a reference line for the top, and tilt this a little bit, and a reference line for the bottom, and get over there. I speculate what I'll be left with is a tooth that's been filed down with a flat that goes straight up. I'll have a tooth. I'll have a tooth that's slightly filed off right here. I'll have a tooth. Got a significant portion of it that is leveled off. And this being the front of the saw and that being the handle back here. But really, there's no real loss here in having this flat, and that flat, because still the leading edge is still sharp. It's still sharp enough. And in a way, I almost wish I had a file that I could lay in the groove that was perfectly designed so that when it is completely buried, the physical triangle, when the triangle file is completely buried, that tells me to stop. That way I'm always filing the same depth on every tooth. And to an extent, that's mostly accurate. But across the length of the entire saw, you may end up with a little bit of a sine wave going on. So anyway, that's how I'm sharpening these handsaws. Disciplining myself for the first time to do it, and my God, that is sharp. I may do this whetstoning to level, but one of the last things I do, which is probably really taboo, normally I'd take a fine flat file and I'll go nice fun noise. And I'll do the other side at a slight angle. And that just creates a situation where it's more pointy. And plus it helps do some deburring. But that's really sharp back there. I'm impressed. I'm happy with that. I'm going to do a test hit on it just for the hell of it. See if I can find a block of wood. Get the mustard container out of the way. Got a few things going on. Oh, there was a bit here already. Just going to test the end that I sharpened. See what it feels like. That feels real dull up here, but this is real grabby. Of course, I don't have enough length on it. It's always the problem. It's really... I'll check it out tomorrow. If it's worth it, I'll do another video. But right now, we can see that we've done this saw some justice. We're giving her sharpening her teeth more sharper than what they were before. All right, guys, 46 minutes. My God. All right, guys, sorry for such a long video. We'll talk to you later. You guys have a great rest of your day. See ya. Bye.